Retro, one of the coolest gyms and greatest high school basketball environments there ever was. So they're going back there tonight. A team from the old MSAA will be battling the Frogs tonight. Okay, Ellenwood, they're home tonight to take on Kinsley. Jaron Lane on the show yesterday. Thinks they're playing pretty good, even though they lost to Central Plains by 5 on Tuesday night. But he likes the way they're playing, and he's got Landon Simpson, who's averaging 22 points a game. Kyle Haxton, they need to get back on track. They're 8-8 now, and they've still got a chance to host a first-round game in the 3A sub-state. But they can't drop any more, as they will be at home tonight. Shouldn't be a problem against Nickerson, who comes to town tonight. They've only won a couple games this year. Other high school action tonight, let's see, the Central Prairie League, the Wacky League. Lacrosse is at Central Plains tonight. Kinsley, as I mentioned, at Ellenwood. St. John at Victoria. Buckland is at Maxville. Nest City is at Otis Bison. Jeremy Combs, be wary of the Dodge City Conquistadors. Team that comes in 7-11 in conference, 10-14 overall, but they've won 4 of the last 5 games and have some signature wins during that time. Cole Rife will have those games for you tomorrow night, men and women, starting at 5:15 on B1043 The Point. Hall of Fame Day out there. Inductees include Tim Weiser, now works for the Big 12, former K-State athletic director, and the special ceremony starts at 2 in the lower level of the Kirkman Center. They'll also be honored at halftime in that game. One couple games last night on the men's side in the JR Conference. Garden City beating Hutchinson 81-73. That helped the Cougars. And Hutchinson women beat Garden City 66-53. So Dodge City and Hutchinson back tied atop the Jayhawk women's standings at 16-2 in league play. KU and K-State both heading to Utah this week. K-State plays at BYU tomorrow night. KU plays at Utah tomorrow night, and then they'll flip-flop. K-State will hang around and take on Utah next week, and KU then will get BYU on Tuesday night.
Is this where Elon Musk comes in and says, "Here, you guys, take one plane"? That was my Elon Musk impression.
Why would, it's amazing that he would want to do that, because it'd probably be a good idea, right?
Utah's a big state. I don't know how far. And I think those programs have plenty of money to spread around.
Not as much as they used to. Building things, paying players, getting general managers going. It's a perfect model of college athletics right now going on. You talked to these girls earlier this week, Lady Panther wrestlers, getting ready for 5A regionals, Camden Post. Happy she won't have to go against those tough WAC opponents as they try to qualify for state, as they will be in regional action this weekend. They've got 5 wrestlers ranked. Camden is ranked number 2 at 105, and Micah Elligood is ranked number 2 at 125. She says, yeah, it'll be nice not wrestling, but the experience we got during the year will really help us out. And you look, 6A right now, boy, the WAC's been strong in wrestling this year. Garden City is, let's see, Dodge is 1, Garden City 2, Liberal ranked 6th, and they won't have to worry about that. Great Bend going to Topeka Seaman High School for the regional.
And go in number 7 as a team, so you got the 5 ranked girls that should make it in the top 8, but hopefully you can sneak in a few more, because those points will be huge at the state tournament.
Panther boys, they'll wait until next Friday and Saturday for their super regional action as they will compete at Newton. Royals baseball. Let's see. General Manager J.J. Piccolo talking about their off-season acquisition of 32-year-old Los Angeles Angels, Philadelphia last season, Estevez. What's his first name? Carlos Estevez. Says he likes the power that the team was able to add to the bullpen. Estevez, an all-star with the Angels 2 years ago, going 5-5 with an ERA of 3.90 and 63 appearances. Pitched in the postseason last year and feels like he's a right fit for what the Royals are trying to do right now. And Vinny Pasquantino. He just needs to stay healthy. Last year, he was on pace to deliver 76 runs, 23 homers, 116 RBIs if he played in 156 games. Had a great August, hit 261, 7 home runs, and 25 RBIs, but he got hurt. And he was talking about on MLB Network about parents that were concerned that he wasn't playing. They wanted him to get him back so the Sasquatch or Pasquatch would be available to see at Kauffman Stadium.
So you've been to the K in the middle of the summer?
You know where that's
What do you think Pasquatch smells like at the end of July?
Probably like the real one.
Yes.
As long as but it's okay if you were getting into your own suit, right? Now, if there's 3 different guys that are in that Pasquatch suit, and you're having to go in there and mix smells with other Pasquatch impersonators, no, that's not good.
And to add to it, we know what Sasquatches eat. Beef jerky. Probably not a good combination in the hot suits.
But again, it's if you're your own suit. You know, if you're a mascot somewhere, you don't want to share the mascot suit with anybody. There you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so, and Mike Horsness is his last show. Why don't you tell people what you're doing? Everybody's texting me today, so where's he going? What's going on?
I had a job before I came here, court clerk, so I'm going to go back and do that.
Okay.
So I'll still be doing the Channel 12 stuff, so I'll get my little bit of sports fix that way, but did want to say when I came here I was going to be a writer with minimal radio time, and once Steve Webster transformed me into a morning show host of sorts, gave me the avenue on Sports Day to talk to all the wonderful kids and coaches, and what a blessing it's been to come in when they say, you see the kid with the deer in the headlights look the first time,
Yeah.
if you can get that same kid back a second time or even a third, the transformation has been unbelievable. And I think like the Hoisington volleyball team, it seemed like they loved coming over here. Maybe they didn't, but I think, and it was just great to be able to celebrate what they're doing and be a part of their success.
I know.
Yes. So I won't say it won't be missed, but as you
Dadgummit, Mikey.
I wouldn't have guessed, like, Steve's just a natural on the radio. Yeah, to put together a 5-6 minute segment, there's a lot of work that goes into that sometimes, and
You had a deer in the headlight look, too.
I probably
But
still do.
now you're
There's a camera right in my face.
You're a seasoned professional. We thank you for all you have done, and good luck over the courthouse. Help me out sometime if I need you.
Don't speed, don't break the law.
Well, you can alter those things. I've got an inside source now over there.
I will say we do nice things like marriage licenses, so it's not always bad when we see you over there.
Okay. The one and only Mike Horst will be back coming up talking Ellenwood girls basketball a little bit later on with Greg Maxwell. But coming up next, we'll talk Barton basketball with head coach Jeremy Combs here on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
As a farmer, I have thousands of more mouths to feed than the average person. What fuels me to get the job done? The smell of the soil and the hum of the combine. What fuels my equipment? Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, a premium diesel fuel for the most challenging conditions. Better than any formula yet, delivering maximum uptime every time. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, fueled by innovation, powered to perform.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
See any doors? This is Eddie.
Papa, when are you getting Mima for Valentine's Day?
Well, Hadley, February is the month of love, and nothing shows love like a new garage door.
You're not just saying that because you own the company, are you, Papa?
Well, Maybe a little, but honestly, a new garage door can really brighten up the home.
So, what are you getting me off for Valentine's Day?
You go, Hadley.
C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back, Sports Day. Sorry, Coach left your opening line out, so we'll it's
all right.
It's a Friday, man. Okay. Our show brought to you today by Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals, and American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, featuring number 2 Clear Diesel, bulk fuel, E10 fuel delivery, and all your lubricants and fuel supplies. Head coach Jeremy Combs joining us, the Barton Cougars. His team comes into the weekend 14-5 in conference. They are tied with Coffeyville for second place, and you got your 20th win on Wednesday night. Congratulations. Does it feel like mid-February for you?
No, it definitely doesn't. I was talking to my wife about that just last night. We've just got a few games left of conference play before we get into, the region tournament, and it's really flown by. But, it's been a different year, than last year, but it's been a good one. We've earned our stripes a little bit, coaching and things like that. But it's been fun to watch this team, grow and become, a really good team.
Where's the most growth come from, Jeremy?
I think playing together, I think we were a little bit spoiled last year with that team. They were just so, together and just knew what each other were going to do. This team, we've gotten better at throwing some alley-oops, but we weren't able to connect on them just because the chemistry wasn't quite there. And just to see them grow in that aspect has been really good. And then the trust each other, that was a big one. Middle of the season, we were really talking about trusting each other, and knowing each other's got each other's back, and so I think we're getting close to that.
Talk about your win, getting it against Seward County, a team that it's hard for me to see Seward County in the basement, but never know what's going to happen at this time of year. Talk about your win that you're able to get 84-68 on Wednesday.
Yeah, no, they're still a really good team. I mean, they've got a post player inside that was hard to deal with, but I thought we did a really good job of making adjustments throughout the game. We ran several different guys at him. We were really physical with him and took him out of some of his stuff, and so I was really pleased with the defensive side of things. But they've got some guards that can get to the bucket, and we did a really nice job of containing them. It was probably, I think, one of our better defensive nights. And then again, we happen to be kind of hot from three, and then when that happens, you kind of blow things open a little bit.
Yeah, isn't it nice when three balls go down? But my favorite Bill Self line is he calls three-point shooting fool's gold.
Yeah,
but that is encouraging. I mean, to add that aspect to your game.
Yeah, no, we talk about that a lot. Defense will always be there. We know that's going to be consistent. It should be. It's the three-point shooting, you're scoring. Just some nights you're off. But defense should never be off, and so that's what keeps you in ball games. And like I said, if you're guarding, it could be a close game if you're not shooting it well. But if you do shoot it well, we always tell the guys, that's when you break them open.
Okay, defending the three-point shot. You've gone against teams. I know that no matter what you do to them, they're going to hit them. I mean, what do you do in that situation? Just wait till they quit making them. I mean, I know you want to defend the three line, but sometimes that's difficult.
Yeah, no, it's we've come across teams that have come in here and really just shot it well, whether it was they had nothing to lose or they're coming in to play the defending national champs or whatever it may be, and it's a difficult task, but we've just worked on running guys off the line and different things that we can do. Our closeouts being quicker and just being there on the catch and things like that. And that's about all you can do. We do several different things defensively, switching ball screens, things like that really kind of help us in that category. But really what we want teams to put the ball on the floor and try to get to the basket. And that's when we get our defensive rotations working and the help and then the help-to-helper type stuff that we constantly talk about. So, those are just the little things that you can try to do. But, if somebody's hot, there's not much you can do.
Tomorrow you get Dodge City in here, a team that went through a really tough stretch and now maybe playing as well as, anyone in the conference right now. What's been the difference with that Dodge City team?
Yeah, I think they just, like a lot of teams, they're kind of finding their identity, and every team does it, at different times throughout the year. Obviously, this is the time you want to find it, but, there were some teams early in the year that were really hot that aren't playing so well, and then now, there's teams that weren't playing very well that are playing great, and Dodge is one of them. So they're dangerous. They've got some guards that can really score the basketball, and they got a couple big guys. So several different things that they can run at you, but they've got a couple of those guards with Division I transfers, and so they can really score. But they've been shooting a lot of threes and getting up and down and just playing really loose right now.
This is the time of year when you see teams go south. There's teams that they packed it in right now. I have not seen that as much this year. I mean, especially look at some of the results in the conference right now.
Yeah, no, I obviously I do all the scouts and keep all stats and things like that on teams, and it's interesting. The last probably 3 or 4 games, the stats are getting better. From the first time we played them, and so normally I told my team the other day that normally that doesn't happen. Garden's scoring the ball better than they were. Seward's doing the same thing, and then in Dodge, they're scoring the ball a lot more than they were the first time we played them. They're shooting the ball better, they're rebounding the ball better. So again, I think that's a lot of times that's just the team finding their identity and then figuring out some things.
Yeah, you guys are the only team that played on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that huge snowstorm that came through. It missed Great Bend and Liberal, I guess.
Yeah, so you got that done. Garden City beats Hutch last night, 81-73.
Yeah, that was good for us. We gives us a little bit more breathing room there. I think Garden might have like a two game lead, or they're 2 games behind Hutch, but that puts a little distance between us and Hutch, and so now we really just got to focus on ourselves and let the rest just kind of all the pieces fall into place.
Yeah, see, we get to look at you got to go out and play those games. We can look at the matchups coming up. Coffeyville, they go to Cali Saturday, and then they turn right around, and then they have to play a Monday game to make up in Concordia against Cloud County, and then they're home against Butler. So Coffeyville, pretty tough stretch here coming up, and well, you're basically tied with them for second in the standings right now.
Yeah, no, I like where we're at. I don't look at what those other teams, what they're doing, but my son does, not Carter, but Jackson. He keeps me informed on all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of one of those things. I'm like, Jackson, I'm trying to focus on the next one, and he keeps bringing it up. But yeah, so I know a little bit about that, and I feel like we're in a pretty good spot as we keep moving forward.
Do you post standings in the locker room or anything like that?
Yeah, I do.
I like that. I mean,
yeah, and it's on the scouting report. Just to let guys know where we're at, and whether or not, we just want to make them aware that, hey, we can't drop anymore. Because they see where Cali's at, they see where Hutch, they see where Coffeyville's at, and so I think it's just a little bit of extra motivation. I'm always looking for motivation.
Yeah, good chat with Cole on Tuesday talking about the conference and where it's at right now, and we're talking about at-large bids at the end of the year. But you get in the five's good, 6, but then you get past 6 and 7 and 8 and things like that. So, yeah, winning records and beating teams right now is pretty important.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, how that all falls together, because there's been a lot of teams in the top 25 losing. A lot of us beating up on each other, but some bad losses. And so this is that time of year, again, where we can't have any of those bad losses. We play, I think, one team that's ahead of us in the standings, and so we've got to make sure we take care of the ones that we should, and then go try to steal one.
Okay, you play tomorrow at home against Dodge, and then you get your bye. So does this come at a good time for you?
I think so. We got Hall of Fame weekend out there at the college, so we got quite a few things going on there with that, and a big game. It'll be an evening game, and so then we can get off our feet a little bit and kind of just put in some other things that we've been wanting to work on that we just haven't been able to put in, just because we're trying to save some legs a little bit, So next week we'll add a few things. There's a couple of zone things, a couple of trap situations that I want to work on defensively. Probably throw in a couple extra plays during that time. some sets, and just try to fine tune some things. Really.
Okay, so we've gone through this for a while. Of course, you cut your teeth in junior college basketball like I did. Is you played at night. How's the afternoon stuff working, do you think? I mean, it's great when I think maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I go both ways on that. I'm not, sometimes we get really good, it'd be interesting if we could just schedule our games around KU and K-State basketball and football, But
there's that, isn't there?
Yeah. So, but, sometimes, I mean, we have a pretty good crowd every night anyway. But yeah, no, it kind of goes both ways. I think there's some pros and cons to both.
And that's one of the things that, again, they're going back in the day, but you knew on Saturday, KU and K-State were going to be playing in the afternoon.
Right.
You knew they weren't going to be playing on Wednesday night or something like that. So that makes a big difference for sure.
Yeah, we went to that with just because of travel, and when it was East and West, I think it was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But now that we've gone into one big one, it's, if you got Coffeyville coming over here to play us, you don't want them, play an 8 o'clock game. And, because we used to play at 8 o'clock, and Seward until last couple of years was pretty stuck on that and played that 8 o'clock game, and it was not good, but especially when you're traveling. But yeah, no, I think it's been good for us. But like I said, it goes either way.
Enjoy Hall of Fame weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Thank you.
Jeremy Combs, head coach of the Barton Cougars, in with us here on Sports Day. More to come right after this.
From the Mail Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Jumpstart your education with Barton Online. You can pick up a class or earn an associate degree for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling. Start when it works for you. Choose from 5 sessions throughout the semester, including 16, 8, and 4-week options. Save big on the way toward your career or tackle your gen eds with our low-cost pathway. Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
What's going on in high school sports? Well, let's ask him. Sports Day is proud to welcome in Sunflower Sports Solutions' Connor Nickel.
Connor Nickel joins us on Sports Day today. It's all brought to you by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country, and Equity Bank. Here when you need them. Bank local. Save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Connor Nickel joins us here on this Friday. Connor, have you heard of a West Coast road trip?
Yes, I certainly have.
Yeah, but usually on a West Coast road trip, it's like you go out there and you stay there, right? So, you go to Dodge City, then you go to Gardens. But no, it's Dodge City, Great Bend, Garden City, back to Great Bend. So, yeah, it's makeup games are just fun, aren't they?
They are. When you're playing a lot in a row. Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, Great Bend takes care of Dodge City last night, both boys and girls, and now they'll go to Garden City tonight to take on the Buffaloes in Western Athletic Conference action. I want to talk to you about a game in Hayes tonight. We saw the Liberal girls play right after the first part, the first game out of the break is January 3rd. And you could see at that time they were having a roster transition. Some of the younger players were taking over more prime time, and they're playing really good basketball right now. I don't know if they've got anything for Hayes High tonight, but it's certainly a much more intriguing game than it was, say, right before the Christmas break, and Hayes had beat them 77-50. I wouldn't mind being the little mouse on in the inside the gym tonight up in Hayes. Won't be able to do it, but how do you see that Hayes High Liberal girls game tonight?
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I mean, Coach Fowler, she has been there for a long time. I believe 16, 17 years at the school. Has kind of coached at all levels. Was, of course, Carter Kruger's lead assistant when they had their great forever Final Four team that didn't lose. They had a number of other great teams. She took over a couple of years ago, and they shoot the ball so well. And you're exactly right. I mean, since January 24th, they've really settled in. They're scoring a ton of points. They obviously took a big loss to St. James Academy, who's in that probably top 3 or 4 range in 5A, with Hayes High, Andover, things like that. They do have a close win over Garden City. But the thing with the Lady Red for so long is their ability to just shoot the ball and score. I mean, Shamari Lewis is a tremendous player. Obviously, her dad, one of the all-time great Kansas athletes, averaging 19, and 10. The Ryan girl, Delgado, they've got a lot of impressive players. Haley Contreras graduated, who was the best shooter that they ever had in their school. But Ryan has come in and shot it well. They're not making quite as many threes as they were last year. They're making just over 4 a game. But I think this is going to be a very competitive game tonight. I think in the end, I mean, Hayes High just has way too much across the board. I mean, when you're bringing a Molly Buckles or an Armbruster or a Riley Dreyer off the bench, I mean, those are 6, 7, 8 girls, and those girls are really, really good basketball players. And then, of course, I don't know how much the Redskins are going to have an answer for Schmeidler. But I can see this being a very high-scoring game. I mean, very similar to your first contest. But I think it's going to be 65 to 47 type of game, 65 to 50. I just don't know if the Lady Red over 4 quarters can truly sustain the offensive output that is needed against such a very, very good team.
Yeah, but they've got an inside presence, and they're not turning the ball over. Kylie Ryan's fantastic. I mean, she's going to be well, she already is a good player. She's a junior right now. This is kind of an interesting matchup because, for Hayes, the score's been posted in the clubhouse for St. James Academy against Liberal. So, it's one of those, okay, let's kind of feel out what's over on the east side tonight, and sometimes you can't do it with scores alone, but that will be an interesting aspect to watch out of this thing.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's a very good, it's kind of one of those big picture games, too, of, hey, this is how St. James played Liberal, how are we going to do it? And you're exactly right regarding Ryan. I mean, when you look at her turnover-wise, the last several games, only 2 turnovers the last 2 games, 34 points and 2 turnovers. Against Hooker, she had 9, but in Tonganoxie only 3. When she did not turn the ball over, I mean, she had 11 turnovers in the loss against Hayes High. But when she is 4 or less, they are, I believe, they have not lost. I believe they are 7-0 this year when she has 4 or less turnovers, which is really, really key. And I do not expect Kylie Ryan to have 11 turnovers tonight, which I think would bode well for this being a closer game for sure.
Talk about Riley Dreher and what she does for that Hayes team. She doesn't score a lot, but, man, you talk about having a team that has a lockdown defender. I think she's one of the better high school girls basketball defensive players that I've seen, man. I mean, she can lock down the other team's best scorer.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, Riley Dreher is just an awesome kid. I've gotten to know her some. She wrote me a really nice note last year when I wrote a story about her. Just been an awesome kid. There are those 5 seniors. There's also Jay Soroa, who doesn't play a whole lot, but those 5 seniors are incredibly close, and they've been close for years. They do everything together. You look at snowball pictures from last week; all 5 of them are together. All those parents, I know them fairly well to very well. And Riley Dreyer is a softball first kid, and she is a 2-time All-State player. Has signed for Hutch for softball. Plays elite travel in the summer, and for her to be very unselfish this year and say, hey, I understand we have this stud freshman. I'm going to help the team in whatever role I can. If that means I'm coming off the bench or maybe even playing a bit less than the previous years, I'm going to accept that. Her parents were both outstanding athletes at Fort Hays State. Obviously, her dad coached baseball in a variety of capacities for a very, very long time. And so Riley Dreyer just gets it. And it's so cool to watch those 5 seniors really understand, hey, these seniors are all 4-year players. A couple of them, certainly Molly and Katie, play a lot as freshmen, when they were not very good. and so they have watched this program. When they were in 8th grade, Hays High was, 5 and 16, 6 and 15 type of season, and they have watched this now grow into this colossus. So I think they just really understand what it takes and understand just how far this group has come.
So that'll be an interesting matchup tonight. Okay, tell me about the last 10 days in the Central Prairie League. It's been goofy, and you always talk, well, anybody can beat anyone on any particular night. That's a cliche a lot of times. People, go in and get killed by the other teams in the league. And there's been some interesting results. St. John knocks off Central Plains, and then Otis Bison beats St. John. You saw a heck of the Ellenwood girls take down wacky week in the Central Prairie League.
Well, it's interesting, and being a coach in this league, too, it was thrown out to me this week that this is, on the girls' side, this is the best CPL girls maybe in, quite a while. The boys' side had that league, 10, 11 years ago when Ness City and St. John and Central Plains and Otis was a Final Four that team year in 1A2, were all really, really good. Obviously, there have been years on the boys' side, CP and St. John have finished 1-2 at state. But the girls' side is just really, really deep this year. This is the best lacrosse girls team in a long time. And obviously St. John is very good. CP is very good. I've told our people, I said, we have not lost to a 1A Division II school this year. We're 5-0 against 1A2 teams with all of those wins by 10-plus points. So, and we're definitely more in the mid-tier in our league. I think that Maxville has only lost 2 or 3 games outside of league. The league this year is really good. What Ellenwood has done, some people said, wow, that score was really something else. Ellenwood shoots the 3 ball a lot. And when they go in, they're really, really dangerous. They are really hard to beat when you shoot the ball like that. And they shot the ball incredibly well the other night. 10 of 18 on threes. We held them to 4 of 26 on threes. They found another way to beat us. But they're a team that shoots the ball really, really well from the outside. When it goes in, they're really, really special. And I had another coach, a 2A coach, who's probably going to see them in Substate, talk to me on Monday. They're like, hey, what is about this Ellenwood team? We're probably going to see them in 2.5 weeks. And I said, they shoot the ball well, and they play very, very well together. The boys' side, I think that Otis is very, very dangerous with some of their size. You look at our boys' team; they beat Maxville on the road last week. Crazy game. Victoria was up 20 at half. Maxville took the lead. Victoria finished. Victoria played awesome. Coach Ryan has done an outstanding job. But I know St. John has got them their full attention tonight. I can't, and again, I go off of a comment I heard on Tuesday. Somebody said this might be the deepest the CPL has been in quite some time when you go even past Team 4. And that's why you're getting some of these results this year, and also the way that teams play. You know, CP does not necessarily. CP girls does not like to get up and down the floor and go 70 possessions, which is fine. You know, I think the Eagles are fine with that. They're going to shoot more threes than some other teams, or more of the post team. Maxwell is very guard heavy. So again, you're just getting a lot of different matchups that I think is causing some of these results here.
Yeah, and it goes over 3 classes, doesn't it? Division 1, 2, and into 2A. So you're talking about the Ellenwood girls a little bit. What kind of run are they getting ready to go on? I mean, that is an unbelievable freshmen and sophomores that they have over there getting ready to poise to make a big run in Ellenwood, you think?
Yeah, it is really, really amazing. And for those who, this is the similarity I have made. For those who have coached travel basketball or travel softball, and have had a group for 3 or 4 years that has played together, and you just can see the chemistry. That's what the Ellenwood girls have. And I've told Coach this. I'm very impressed with their girls. They play really well together. They understand their roles. And again, this is with maybe their best player who's out for the year. You know, they've been able to do this with different girls coming off the bench, different girls in different roles. The Jacobs girl can shoot the ball really, really well. Plays 10 or so minutes a night, and can just shoot it really, really well. You know, Widener, Maxwell, some of these other girls, Bachman. They've just got a great group that you can tell has played together for a long time. And frankly, they expect to win because they have won so much in several sports. And many of these girls play club together on Saturday and Sunday, too.
Okay, it is regional girls wrestling this weekend. Couple things that you're looking at going into this weekend and revamped. I mean, it's 6A separated from 5A. I like that, especially for Great Bend. But some things that you're looking at this weekend.
Yeah, certainly. I'm really curious in just how the WAC teams do overall. I talked with a wrestling person in the know earlier this week, and they had felt, hey, Hayes High is probably going to get 5 girls through. But the WAC is just so good. But what's also interesting, and this should not be lost, is girls wrestling continues to get better. And it's so much of, to use a baseball analogy, it's so much early 2000s when the Yankees were just beating up on everybody. Boston said, hey, rising tide lifts all boats. I want to be good, which made Toronto better, which made Baltimore better, and then made Tampa Bay better. You're seeing the same thing in girls wrestling, where now, Manhattan, I don't know if people saw this, it's a huge statewide thing. Manhattan beat Washburn Rural girls in their league duels. That's never happened. Washburn Rural from day one has been the team. And yes, Dodge clipped them that 1 year, and Great Bend has been competitive with them, and Garden City's been a top 5 team. But Manhattan basically said, we're going to be good, and we're going to beat the team that's been beating us handily for years that's 10 miles away. And so that has made this really interesting. And again, the amount of girls from a variety of classes, from a variety of schools that you've never seen be good are now being good. I think in 321A, Oakley and Chanute, I think are maybe a step above everybody else. But on the girls' side, you've got Manhattan now being a power. You've got obviously Garden City, Dodge City. Hayes High will be in the mix. It's got several KC area schools too. Kalen Hitchcock from O North set the all-time career wins record earlier this year. Just the amount of talent across the board in girls wrestling is really, really cool to watch.
All right, Connor, appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. We'll hit on some regional boys action and another wacky week in the Central Prairie League, and as we'll get closer to Hayes High and Great Bend in a couple weeks. Have a good weekend.
Certainly, Steve. Thanks again.
Okay, Connor Nickel with us here on Sports Day, all brought to you by Eller Automotive Repair, where they specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Also, in part by the Animal Medical Center in Great Bend. Large or small, they take care of them all. Sports Day rolling on right after this.
Daddy.
Papa, when are you getting me off for Valentine's Day?
Well, Hadley, February is the month of love, and nothing shows love like a new garage door.
You're not just saying that because you own the company, are you, Papa?
Well, maybe a little, but honestly, a new garage door can really brighten up the home.
So, when are you getting me off for Valentine's Day?
You go, Hadley.
C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Barton Community College's natural gas program gives you the skills and training you need to succeed. Current student Easton chose Barton to get him ready for the field.
I chose natural gas because I saw all the different type of hands-on work that they do. The technology is top-notch. Instructors are very knowledgeable of everything. Anybody interested in a career in natural gas, I really encourage them to come here to Barton. My name is Easton Juneau, and I'm a Barton Cougar.
Learn more at naturalgas.bartonccc.edu.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by Ellenwood Lady Eagle basketball coach Greg Maxwell. Coach, coming off a really big win Tuesday night against Central Plains, how's the mood of the squad after a win like that?
Oh, the girls are very excited. We've looked at our schedule all season, and we knew there were some big games on there, and that was obviously one year marked no matter what year it is, because Central Plains is always the top of their class, and the girls were very excited to go in there, and we talked about going in with an expectation to win, and I think that was a key for them. They believed they could do that, and they did the things they needed to, so it was great for them.
Yeah, and I was doing some other stuff Tuesday night, listening to K-State, actually, and started getting some messages. Hey, Ellenwood girls just beat Central Plains. My first thought was, so what? Just because volleyball tends to kind of follow basketball, and you guys had already been beating them on the volleyball court, but the next day Steve Webster says, is that the first time since Cree beat him? And yeah, 14 straight losses to him, some really big ones, 50, 60, 70 points when they were a buzzsaw. So how did the girls decide that this was the year they were going to take them down?
Well, a lot of it, you're right. We've lived under their shadow, and what they've done is phenomenal up there. And, they've set the model for what a program should look like. And I've lived frustration as a assistant coach and a dad of an older daughter that, played under those teams and just never saw success. So we've done some things in the last few years, with our youth to try to, model some of what they've done and try to create our own identity. And so going into this game, our young kids have had success against them. So there were some kind of facts I could throw out to our girls that, if you can overcome a few different situations here, you guys, can be viewed as a favorite going into this game if you want to view yourself that. And that's what I told them. Your success in this game will be determined upon your perception and your expectations. And then they embraced it. They were excited from the start. We got down big early, and when they were able to take the lead at half, that really, really rejuvenated their confidence.
And you kind of hit on one I was going to ask, because same kids playing volleyball, but it's a young squad, so how important to set that precedence now when they've got 2-3 years left, some of them even, 3 years?
Absolutely. Going into this season, obviously the youth was a big thing we focused on. We talked about it and talked about all the things we want to do. And I've said all along, we're a year away from where we want to be. I think we've obviously progressed a little faster than maybe we expected. But we dominate our league in volleyball, and we expect to do that in basketball here moving forward. And that is no disrespect to our league basketball because of some of the teams and things they've all accomplished. But, we are one of the bigger schools in our league, and we expect that if we're doing things right, we should be at the top of the league. And so to get done maybe a year early or whatever you want to look at that, it was exciting for the girls, and it just becomes an expectation. When we step on the court, we expect to win games.
Talking to Ellenwood Lady Eagle basketball coach Greg Maxwell. And so the kicker for me is, you're young, but your leading scorer, sophomore Reese Stickney, goes out about halfway through the season, and yet you guys still keep trucking. How about the response from the girls with that adversity?
Yeah, obviously, you just feel for Reese so much. It's heartbreaking when any athlete loses, their season like that. But, prior to Reese going out, that was kind of the message I had to our girls all along, was we weren't built around one or two people, and, we were going to be very tough to defend. We were going to be tough to play because their foul trouble wasn't going to be an issue. One kid had an off night. We had other people that stepped up, and they really embraced that. Olivia Backlund really stepped up right after the immediate injury at that Washington tournament. Olivia averaged 17 points up there at that tournament, which basically kind of replaced the scoring output that Reese had offered. And since then, they've all found their way to contribute, and they're finding their roles, and they're comfortable. And it's a cliche, but you really look at it. We truly are just a solid all-around team, and it's why we're having success.
And only got 2 losses against a ranked St. John team and a Class 3A Minneapolis team in the championship of the Winter Jam over in Hoisington. So the one win I would highlight was I was there for the semifinal game. That is a Pratt team that is now ranked in Class 4A, able to get the win there. So what's that do for your program, just to say, we're not only beating league schools, but some bigger schools?
Yeah, that was a big one. Well, we talk about that volleyball all the time, about those marquee wins in your season that kind of establish who you are and that credibility. And that was 100% win in basketball for us. We went into that knowing we could win that game and come away with a victory and beat a couple of really good players. And it's just a solid all-around team. It was, I think, a moment for our girls where they started to recognize who they really were. Early in the year, even when we played St. John, I don't think our girls truly understood who they were yet. I think we were still finding our way and didn't fully expect to maybe be the ranked team we were seeing, in the rankings and the undefeated part of it. I think we were almost keeping that a little lighter than maybe we should have, and now they believe, and that problem was a big step for us. There's no doubt, and even to compete with Minneapolis, they blew us out last year. We played in that tournament with them, so to take them, we had a one-score game with less than a minute to go. You look back and you almost wish our girls had maybe even believed a little bit stronger at that point. So I think they learned from that, and I truly believe that helped us at Central Plains. They went in with a different mentality. Instead of hoping to play, a good team close, they went expecting to beat a good team.
Ellenwood Lady Eagle basketball coach Greg Maxwell, I say this is, I'm guessing, my last interview ever on Sports Day, so you've always been a great guest for me over at the newspaper and at the radio, following the volleyball, following on the side of the road in Colorado, or growing up in Leadville, Colorado. So, Coach, good to end it on this note, and good luck to the Lady Eagles the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Appreciate all you've done, and thank you so much.
All right. More Sports Day after this.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today we want to give a shout out to all the supporting cast at these basketball games. We have some great young men and young women on the court, but we also have some great young men and women playing their instruments, cheering, dancing, all those things. Let's clap for them. When they perform and get done, let's show them a round of applause, show them some love as well, because they deserve it. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local equity bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
The music sounds the end of the Friday show. Thanks for joining us today on Sports Day. Certainly going to miss Mike Corson. just go over to the clerk's office at the courthouse and just complain. You know, be unreasonable. Make his life so miserable that he's got to come back here to our little Sports Day family. We will trudge on Monday, myself and Landon Winkler. And if you'd like to host the show or co-host the show, give me a call. We can pull that off as well. All right, getting ready to hop in the vehicle, head to Garden City. Panthers against Garden tonight. Mike Marzoff will be on board with me. Hopefully both stay awake on the way out there. We'll be on the air at 5:45 of the pregame show. Hoisington and Nickerson on KHOK and Larned and Pratt on Hits 106.9. Have a great weekend.
Agriculture Today.